to copy Snoop Dogg. Oh my God, I couldn't be happier to be wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say I called it. I picked Sterling to win, but I wanted Sean to win. I did get upset vibes from this fight. I did say Sean would do better than expected with his takedown defense, and it would be a dangerous fight. But damn, he sniped Aljo and sniped him quick. Didn't take long to do so. Just needed 2 rounds. And I mean, what did I say about the greatest of all time talks curse, the GOAT curse? Every time a champion, after, reigning for a few years, is being regarded as the greatest of all time and being compared to an all-time great of the previous era, what happens? They lose the belt. It happened to Kamaru Usman, Woodley, Max Holloway, you know what I mean? And Joanna Jędrzejczyk, multiple circumstances, Adesanya, you know what I mean? And I said this could happen to Sterling, and it did. I gotta speak down because it's late, but holy, oh my God, I mean, so that fight was interesting. I mean, Aljamain Sterling struck with Sean for the whole first round. It was a close first round, feeling out process. I knew there was a chance that O'Malley, with his range and length and movement, would make it difficult for Sterling to get in and find his way in for a takedown. Although towards the end of round 1, I say Sterling stole that because, okay, he had the leg kick numbers, and then towards the end, cage control, shots against the cage. So Sterling wins that round 10-9, but close. And then round 2 happens, and oh my gosh, Sugar Sean O'Malley. He manifested this. He manifested his destiny. He pointed out how Aljamain leaves his chin open when he's trying to close the distance. And that's the thing. Sterling gets very, very, very sloppy when trying to get on the inside. And that's why he was so cautious early. And, we saw in this round, he tried to rush to get in, and boom. He left that chin on a platter, and O'Malley countered with that right hand, face planted him. It looked like Sterling went out, but, he was conscious. But then a few more shots, and that was it. A lot of people are saying early stoppage. That was a great stoppage, man. That was a great stoppage. Okay, it was a late stoppage, in my opinion. It could have been stopped sooner. Sterling didn't protest it. Sterling was not coming back from that. That's all she wrote. And I predicted O'Malley would be champ by the end of the year, although not because I thought he beat Sterling. I thought Sterling would vacate, and then Sean O'Malley would fight for the vacant belt and beat whoever else is standing across from him. But no, he fought one of the, on paper, stylistically toughest matchups for himself. And he went out there. He understood the assignment. You know what I mean? He had this test and he passed it with flying colors, made it look easy, made it look easier than the Peter Yan fight, which is insane. Peter Yan had more success with his wrestling than Aljamain Sterling, who on paper was supposed to be the best wrestler in the division. Wow, I mean, that shows that Yan is a better wrestler than Aljo. I've always known that. And I don't think Sterling's wrestling has ever been that good. It's just his jiu-jitsu, his ability to take the back. But he could not get the back of O'Malley. O'Malley stayed composed. O'Malley did not let Sterling transition over to the back. He used that cage as his best friend. And, Aljo couldn't climb his back. And I couldn't be more satisfied, man, because Aljamain Sterling had one of the most annoying runs, okay? I don't want to be disrespectful to Aljo. He's managed to hold the belt as long as he did. He's a good fighter. But he's not the greatest bantamweight of all time. He fluked his title reign. If Jan wasn't a dumbass and didn't throw the knee, he's staying the champion. You know what I mean? And Sterling would have never been the champion, so he got lucky with that one. The second Jan fight was controversial. I thought Peter Yan won. I don't care, but whatever. Round 1 was debatable. Aljo edged it. And then he was lucky enough to take Jan down, take his back in 2 rounds. And then Yan came on strong a little too late, couldn't get the finish, split decision, Aljo, whatever. But 2 asterisks besides those Yan wins. I think Yan is the better fighter. And then fights a washed-up, injured TJ with one arm. What do you think was going to happen? I think if TJ was healthy, he could have won that. And then fights a midget coming out of retirement, coming off the couch after 3 years. I'm joking, Cejudo. Well, you are a midget, but, Cejudo's great. But that matchup, in hindsight, was favorable for Sterling because Cejudo's short. Sterling does good against short, stocky fighters. And Cejudo's old and hasn't fought in a while. So it made sense that Sterling won that. But split decision. Lucky that all three judges didn't give the fifth to Cejudo, because if they did, Cejudo's the champion. But, honestly, I'm glad Henry didn't win that fight, because we needed to see Sterling get slept. We needed to see him lose his belt in the most convincing, most satisfying way possible. You can't contest it. You can't say there's any controversy or that Sterling got robbed like they would have said with Cejudo or if Jan had won. He got his light shut out by Sean O'Malley, and now O'Malley's the bantamweight champion of the world. That's just crazy. I'm so happy for the guy that he's made it. He became the champion. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Now, what's next for both guys? Sterling said that he might have to think twice now about moving up, which this is another reason why I'm so glad he lost, because he said, oh yeah, I'm the best in this division. I'm going to move up. I'm going to vacate, and I'm going to take over 145. Yeah, you never stood a chance at 145 against any of the top guys, let alone Volk. You're right. If you can get caught like that by O'Malley, what do you think Volkanovski's doing, right? So yeah, I don't know what's next. Maybe a Corey Sandhagen rematch, because Corey's wanted that for years. I say that makes a lot of sense. Or maybe Vera versus O'Malley. I don't think that Vera deserves it. Vera versus Sterling. That could happen. I don't think that Vera deserves a title shot at Sean. He needs to try to beat Sterling to get that shot, and Merab Dvalishvili deserves the title shot at Sean O'Malley. I don't know when they'll fight, maybe early next year, maybe late this year. But honestly, I hope Sean doesn't fight for the rest of the year, just so I can be correct about O'Malley being champ by the end of the year. I want to be right, because if he fights again, what if Merab beats him? Or what if he fights Cheeto and loses? He beat Cheeto this time. What if he loses the belt and I'm wrong? So I need to be right. But congrats to Sean O'Malley. What a crazy turn of events, man. Couldn't be more happy.